In this video, I'm going to create this assembly file and then discuss the mates that go into it and how you create it. I might create it completely different every single time I do this. So to start, you just choose File, New, and under Templates, you're going to go with Assembly. And when you start the assembly, you're automatically prompted to select the parts that you want in. So I'm choosing Browse, and I'm going to select either independently, each one, and drop the view in, or into component, browse, and then I could bring all of the others in at once by holding shift, selecting and open, and then just drop these views in place. On your feature tree, you will notice the first part has an F next to it, and if you go to left click on and move it, you can't. That means it is fixed. These are not. There are 6 degrees of rotation that you can move these on along the XYZ or translating along any plane, rotating, so on. If you want to make it so you can move it, if you right click on the part, choose float. Now it moves, you'll notice that that F is gone. So you could fix any part. I recommend fixing the base, whatever the stationary part is. Generally speaking, you want to fix it. Okay, so each part comes in with its feature tree. So if you did want to edit the part in the assembly, you could. Your mates are going to be organized underneath all of the parts. So I'm going to choose mate. And normally SolidWorks will pre-select the mate that it thinks is best. Normally it is right. So now I'm going to just start to mate some parts together. I'll start with this cylinder face on the shaft, and then the face right here. So now those two parts, if I cancel the mate, are linked together off of that, but they can still move in multiple directions. Now I want to link them together, so I'm going to choose mate again, and this time I'm going to end up applying a coincident mate. Select the face of the jaw and then the face of the shaft that should be touching, and now those two pieces are fixed together. If I move one, they're both going to move. The shaft can still spin. I'm going to just ignore that for now. So I need to apply a couple more mates. So now, if I expand this, you can see in order the mates that I applied. Choosing mate again, and this time I'm going to select the cylinder face of the shaft, and then the hole that it would travel through, and check mark. So now those are mated together. Next, I'm going to mate the jaw, the face that would go here. But one issue with this now is this should be able to move. So it is a coincident mate, but I also want to put in a distance. Just for now, I'm going to make it 2. I'm going to flip the dimension, make it go the opposite way. So it can move 2 inches in between here. You scroll down and go into Advanced Mates. This is where I can now set a maximum and minimum value. So the maximum value could move is 2. My minimum value that it would move is 0. Apply. And now I could move at a total of 2. There was a mistake in there, so I'm going to cancel this. And if I right click now on my mate, choose Edit Feature, I can adjust these. Okay, so I have a couple more mates that I need to make. I don't want this to rotate. It should not rotate at all. So I could do a couple things. I could apply a mate across these top 2 faces, or side face, or I could do the bottom 2 and do an offset in between. I'm just going to do the top though, to make a coincident mate. So they're in line with one another. So now this piece here can go to back and forth. I need to put the drive pin in. So I'm selecting the 2 cylinder faces. They go together. Check mark. Now I want the exterior face of the drive pin and the exterior face in line. So now that is locked in place. My handle to the hole of the handle. Now this can move still in line here. I want to make it so it doesn't rotate at all. So what I could do is open up the assembly and then open up the handle and find a plane. For example, I'll select the right plane and I'm going to mate that to the top plane so they're in line with one another of the assembly. So now this can't rotate. You can only move back and forth, left or right. And I can just drop it into position, or if I want it to be exact within the handle, I want to find where my planes are located again. If I have a plane right in the middle, which I believe I do, I do not. If I had a plane in the middle of this part, I could mate it to a mid plane here. So I'm just going to cancel that just to speed this up, move it into place. So here is my assembly